Hello, and great to see you back here. It's Wednesday Lives, and my name is Parveen Smith. If you're just joining me, I am the founder of Soul to Soul Wellbeing. Our subject matter is AOT is a formula. We are questioning this, and it's not a problem for you to question this at all by any chance. It's not a problem. And what I wanted to share with you today is that AOT is something that we talk about often in my sphere of work and with my students and my clients. You may have never actually heard of this, and I'm going to share more with you. Now, for those of you who know my story, I had a near-death experience. And I'm going to share that with you because it's only fair if I stayed true to myself and be authentic as I am. Some of you may know this, some of you may not know this, but it's really true. Something happened to me 20 years ago. And 20 years ago, I tried to get up to go to work as a mentor in schools, and I struggled with my health. I was holding on to my chest and I couldn't breathe. And my 8-year-old daughter is patting me on the shoulder saying, Mummy, get up, we need to go to school, we need to go to work. And as this was happening, I had my feet on the ground, onto the floor. I was still clenching hold of my chest, barely being able to breathe. Wow. I cannot tell you how scared I was. Literally frightened for my life. And as I was looking into her eyes, I saw everything going black, black, and black in front of me. Just getting darker and darker and darker. I whispered to her with the breath that I had, go and get the neighbour. This is exactly what she did. She ran to get the neighbour. The neighbour tried to ring the doctor. The doctor said, you need an ambulance straight away. And flashing blue lights, an ambulance comes. And I'm feeling very, very scared. I thought this was my moment where I was going to die in front of my daughter because something felt like an obstruction here. I could feel something whizzing around my chest. And every breath I was taking was difficult. I had tears rolling down my face because I thought this was it. When I ended up in hospital, I was on the pneumonia ward, and I was with people who were already dying and very, very sick elderly ladies. And I was probably the youngest person in there. And I thought, just sort this out. Whatever this is, it has to go. I was in and out of hospital for a period of time. And I realized this is not my answer. I'm not even getting the answers. I need answers. From that moment on, I decided to go private. And that's when I started getting some answers. Now, you would think, there was going to be answers and I'd recover quickly. But actually, that didn't happen. I waited for a recovery. I was given the best chance, really, of this is your life and you're going to struggle. And I struggled to walk, I struggled to talk, I struggled to eat, and I definitely struggled to breathe. Closing my eyes at night time was scary. Closing my eyes in the daytime was scary. I just didn't know what was going to happen next. And many times my children were called out of school and college because I really struggled to breathe. And I definitely was not hyperventilating. You don't hyperventilate nonstop for 2 years. And during this time, I've got to say, I needed more answers. As I was scared to go to sleep at night, I just cried out. I literally was so scared. I cried out. I had phases of paralyzation during this time of disability, I lost my job. I couldn't work. And during this time frame, as I was crying out one night, begging not to die, literally begging not to die, I didn't know who I was calling. I said, God, universe, angels, and these words just flowed out. I can honestly say that coming from not specifically very religious background, but yet thinking there's got to be something out there that's got to save me. My mission is not complete. I don't want to die yet. And that's what I begged for. Something just needed to save my life. My husband lost his job and he became my carer. But when he was working, there's many a times I didn't make it to the bathroom because I couldn't walk. And many a time he'd find me and pick me up and take me to wherever I needed to be, or even put me back onto the couch because I couldn't move. And if I cried, I couldn't even wipe my own tears. This was the most paralyzing time of my life. And during this time frame, this is when something happened to me. I begged not to die, and something appeared. And I'm not even shy about saying this to whoever's watching and listening, because I'm only telling you how it was. I saw three beings of light. That's the only way I can explain it. And they stood in front of me and they started working on my body. Now, if you're a logic-minded person, you probably will think she's gone mad or I don't believe her. But I'm going to share this with you. I can only tell you what happened and what I saw. And that's exactly what happened. So I felt something was being worked on me. And it was happening for a whole hour. And it felt like an operation to me. But actually, I fell asleep through exhaustion because I watched the digital clock in front of me. And I watched it for that whole hour. And then I fell asleep. And then the next day I thought, this is it. I've recovered. Because something had happened. I definitely saw something. I definitely felt something. I had all my senses around me. But that wasn't the case. But one thing I did have the next day was a bit more hope that one day I will recover. So cutting a very long story short, I still had the disability. And as I was told, it would be a long disability, maybe 20, 40 years of my life, which I refused to believe. I found something that worked on me. I came across a formula, and it's literally given to me in my hands. And I'm not talking about medication. I'm not talking about anything like that. Not a tool. No. It's something that you can't even see, but yet you can feel it. And I would call this energy. For those of you who work with energy, you will know. For those of you who don't understand energy and what is all around us, this is all energy. This is all energy. The only thing that's solid is the desk in front of me, this laptop in front of me, the printer at the side of me. This is what is solid. But I'm not solid. I am made of energy, and you are made of energy. So if you can see, there is so much more beyond the physical and the logical. And there really is. And I wanted to share this with you in this particular live on YouTube, because something saved my life. I have this formula. I worked with it on my body. Things were happening. People were witnessing things. This was 20 years ago this year. And as people were witnessing this, people wanted to hear more. People wanted to hear stories, real accounts, true accounts. And even though I couldn't work, I worked on myself. And people were calling out, can you help me? Can you help me? And even though I wasn't fully recovered, I was able to do so. and I just helped people where I could. So one day my husband did go back to work, and one day I did recover, but I didn't know when I was going to recover. So I struggled so much that even my neighbours next door, they were doing the washing and the ironing, for example, for us. And people were helping getting the milk, this, that, and the other. There was 3 children in the house. I was disabled. My husband went back to work. But during this time frame, people kindly, kindly came out of their homes to help us as a family. So as I travelled on this journey of mine, I can call it soul's journey, and hence why we are termed soul to soul well-being, because something made me well again. I got my well-being back. And from one soul helping another soul, we can make it happen. And then I saw this is my path, this is my journey. And I started helping people. Wherever people wanted me, I was there. I wrote my first 2 books. I wrote my 3rd book, and I've got the 4th book and the 5th book coming out soon. But you see what happens here? I was not meant to die. My mission was greater than I ever imagined. As I begged to stay alive, I was given a formula. I started working on my body. I got myself well without surgery, without great lengths of medication, and I had to learn to breathe again medically and walk again, which was hard, and get my muscles to work again, which was not easy. And even the physios gave up in the end because the pain was so extreme in the whole of my body. I ended up with fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue syndrome to the level of paralyzation throughout that 2-year period. You just didn't know when it was going to happen to that level. So if I can share this with you as an insight to share that AOT is my formula, and it's helped so many people, and we help people with one-to-one sessions. We help people if they want to be trained in this. We train people up to practitioner level if they want to go out and help other people. I didn't get the help when I thought I really needed it, not to the level that I needed. But I know what we do now. We are bringing hope, health, healing to those who want it. So AOT, as I say, those beings of light came, but I couldn't explain it any other way. And I needed to share this with the world, and hence I wrote my books. But I also want to share this, but the name, because it was so beautiful and so fine and translucent, is the best ways I can explain this. I termed them angels. It just came out of my mouth. I didn't even know what I was saying, I suppose. And then AOT actually stands for, because it's so transformative, Angels of Transformation. Because we transform lives, literally. If I can transform my life, not being able to walk, talk, eat, breathe, everything that goes with it, and I have resolved my own situations. We've also helped so many people. This helps people to become healthier and well. And we are just here to support humanity. We're here to support people when they need help. If they're feeling stressed, they will come to us. If they have anxiety, for sure, and I know all about anxiety, we've living with it for decades, we help with anxiety. We've been helping people with depression, mental health problems, physical injuries. People have come to us when they have had football injury, for example, and we've worked on the part of their leg, the knee, whatever it may be, and they've gone back to playing football sooner than they thought. And then we have people with all sorts of health problems, and we help them where we can. And we sure can. It just depends on the time that we need to spend with them and how many sessions they would need. So let me take you through this. Okay, so today I was sharing on social medias that Aot is a formula, and it's a concept that focuses on how the body system can work and reset itself into greatness. So if I am living proof that I have reset my own body system, and I'm now doing major things around the world, and I'm a global speaker, so I've gone from a wheelchair user to world stage, hasn't just happened by accident. This has only happened because we have a formula that we use. And I've been using this formula for 20 years this year. So beyond anything else that I've ever come across, this has been a lifesaver for me. But I also know it's been a lifesaver for somebody called Adele, who I spoke to today. I spoke to her a few days ago, and she even said herself, I wouldn't be here if I didn't have this. It's when you hear other people sharing with you the power and the magnificence of this and how it's actually helping to reshape us and reset us on an emotional level, mental level, physical level. And sometimes when people feel lost from a spiritual soul aspect, they come to us because they need something. And it's sometimes a reconnection, or sometimes it is because they are feeling so lonely and so lost inside. Yet they've got all the worldly goods, but they're not happy on the inside. When people aren't happy on the inside, we help to reset them. The way we work with this formula, AOT, is we work from the inside out. From the inside out, not from the outside in. The outside world is great, and we know it's a materialistic world, and that can serve its purpose too. But if we haven't got our health, we cannot have our wealth, as I have just showcased. I lost my job because I couldn't work, because I couldn't breathe, because I was so unwell. That paralyzation between the 2 years, unpredictable. The pain in the body from the fibromyalgia was unpredictable and very painful to the slightest of touch, and I would scream in pain. The fatigue was so chronic that it left me bedbound, to the point where my mother-in-law used to come and visit me, and I never moved out of bed, and they brought me food to my bed. There's so many of these stories that I can share with you. So the formula focuses on resetting the body system, and it is for the greatness of the life the person wants to live. It totally is about realigning people, and it does exactly that. It aligns you to your soul's purpose. So if you're an accountant, for example, and you're feeling overwhelmed and stressed, you came for these sessions, and the sessions then would give you clarity, give you purpose, rejuvenation. You would feel different from the inside, you would feel clearer in the mind, and then you would get on with your work for the day. I had a lady who did marketing and websites, and she had a car accident. And I said to her, let me just show you what I do. So she lay on my couch, and afterwards she says, oh my goodness, that was amazing. I feel so great, I feel bright, I feel alert. And in fact, I actually feel as if I can take on the world. And that's what I said to her. Go and do some work now. This is the optimal time for you to get the greatness out of this session. And that's what usually people do. So for clients, they will experience transformation. It's a process. So we usually do 4 sessions at a time to give you the transformation that you require quickly. The quicker you have it, the quicker the change. And then we look at the recovery. The recovery of the body system, whether it's emotional, mental, or physical, will come quickly. The people we work with have actually had longevity of life, where they may have had long-term illnesses, health conditions. We've supported them and given them the best we could in that time frame. And they have thanked us. Their families have thanked us. So literally, it feels like we are saving lives. So in the fast-paced world that we are living in, it's true, how can we maintain life and balance and work? It's hard because people are going here, there, and everywhere, and yet we neglect the body system. And when we neglect the body system, that's when illness occurs, whether it's anxiety or stress, depression, clinical depression, an ache or a pain in the body. These are all the things, components that take a person to sickness. And that's when usually people want the help. And if you nip it in the bud and you come to us quickly, the quicker the results will be. So, the inner health of mind, body, and soul has never been so important until these recent times. The business world has got harder. We have the problems around us in the world that we live in. An economic crisis, maybe, the world global crisis going on with war zones and natural disasters. And when we are in that, we have to look at getting out of being in it, but yet being able to cope with it. And this is where we have helped many people in the stressful situations. This is the perfect thing that's going to reset the body system. And you will see it happen within minutes to within that first session. So, the next thing I want to talk to you about on my list here is it is critical that we have this, that everybody has this, that everybody decides to change their life. The more you have this, the more you're happier you're going to be. The family will see the difference, your work colleagues will be more constructive with work, and you will be more efficient and you will deliver. The effectiveness we've seen with people who have had the sessions has been so great. And we go by the feedback they give us, which is, oh my goodness me, I've been so productive today. I've done this, and this, and I've changed this in my business too. So within the sessions, we delve deep into each individual uniquely with the formula that we have. And when we work on certain parts of the body system, it works just amazingly. And even the people don't need to come to see us in person. They can be on Zoom, online, just like this, and we can help them. The change can be quite quick as well, like I say. So each client will get exactly what they want from each session. The changes do occur. I'm going to give you a real life example now of a lady who came about 2 weeks ago. And when she came here about 2 weeks ago, she was so anxious, so depressed. She was so upset. She cried and cried and cried. She'd gone through such a trauma for the last 18 months. And within that 1 hour session, she was able to smile again. And her husband sat on the couch and watched this all. He watched the transformation happen in that one session. She smiled again. She even giggled. And she said a great sentence of information which her husband had never seen her speak so well. So when he said this, he's never strung words like this before in the last 18 months. How amazing is that? We gave her quality of life and just in one session, but she needed to complete the four because each session is slightly different. And we wanted to elevate that sadness from her, the depression, her trauma. We wanted to get that out of her body. When I say elevate, I mean to extract it out and release it. And every time we took the stress and the trauma away from her, she felt better and better and better. And she even was able to do her own hair, which she hasn't done in a long time. She fell and broke her arm. This was in the December, and we were in April, let's just say. And she even said, look at me, I can even move my arm better. And she felt it. Nobody needed to explain nothing. She knew what was happening in her body. She absolutely loved the sessions to the point where we got a harmonious relationship back and we got the trauma lessened in her body system. So this is how the real life stories can change. People with long-term diseases, we've helped them to have longevity of life. A lady came to me with stroke. She was holding onto a walking stick. One side of her body was paralyzed. Her face was drooped. Within a period of time, we got her better and she could walk without a walking stick eventually, and her arm was movable and she had no droop face. Now that's not just through conventional, it's because we looked at it as a whole. And when we looked at it as a whole, we were able to fix her the best we could. So that was about 4 years ago now. And today she's still doing amazing. She doesn't necessarily use a walking stick. She talks well. She's totally alert. And she even runs a business. You see, this is the outcome. And sometimes people say, oh, it's a bit like magic, especially when the children have been with their parents. And to them, it's like they explain it's like having a superpower. And we can take that because there is a superpower that helps the body to reset. and it's been working its magic and miracles. The next thing, so the practical aspects are we see a person one-to-one in the sessions, 4 sessions at a time, on Zoom or in person. And you could be anywhere in the world and we can still help you. You could literally have any issue as well, and we can help you. I'll give you one other story of a lady who was scared of camels. And as I was a speaker in Dubai a couple of years back, she was so scared of camels. And one of our things was we were going to go on a camel ride. And I was with her, and I could see the fear in her. So straight away, I started working on her with my talk and release therapy that we use. And within minutes, something started to change. Fear might have been brought up. Maybe some of it was released and she calmed. And then when we were out in the desert, I did an actual session on her. She didn't know what to expect, but across the way there was a camel. There was a white horse. Within 15 to 20 minutes, she sat up, she got up, without me doing anything or asking her to do anything. She went and stroked the camel and she stroked the horse. She was scared of both prior to this. So see how we can change a lifetime of a fear or a trauma within a short space of time. What is this worth? And for this woman, it was worth everything. So think about it. What was it worth? What would it be worth to you to release an anxiety or a stress or a trauma or an illness that you've been living with for such a long time? That's another true account. The next true account I want to give you is of a lady who's been sick for about 10 years. And she has given a beautiful testimony of her own account. And she is still alive today. And she's now able to babysit her granddaughter if she wants to. She's no longer sitting in bed all the time chronically ill. She's on a better level. So another true story, another fulfillment. What did this lady say to me just a few days ago? If I didn't have this, I know where I would be. I wouldn't be alive. And when a student or a client says that, you feel your worth is there and you've done the job that you were here to do. So my mission is here, and I'm completing my mission where I can and globally. It's become a mission on a wide level, global wide level. So as you may have noticed, we or I do appear in a lot of global magazines as a global leader. We won the Global Award in Dubai in front of the royal family for the best wellness program, which is what I'm talking about right now. Imagine winning 10 awards globally for the work you've done and the people you've made a difference to. The accolades are great. The magazines are great. The articles are great and mind-blowing. And I'm so honored that I have chosen to be appearing in such magazines for the work we've done. But the biggest thing for me is to make an impact with people, groups, societies, and communities. And bigger than that, if you want to be trained in this, I'm more than happy to have a discovery call, train you in the different levels. And if you want to be a professional practitioner, we'll take you to that level so you can make a difference in your community. And if you already have a practice, it's absolutely great to have an add-on like many other people have done too. So, is there anything else like this in the world? In words, it may seem like there is, but in reality, there isn't. We have trained people from all walks of life, in all different careers, and other practices that have come on to learn this system, AOT, and they're helping themselves and their families and their communities. There are many, many stories, but if I can just finish off saying the practical aspects is you can come for the one-to-one sessions on Zoom or in person, or you can be trained in it and have the gift for life. So if you would like to know more about this gift for life, I'm here to share that with you. The gift for life is AOT. It saved my life, it saved many other people's lives, and given longevity of life. It's a formula that you can use for 10 minutes a day or to 30 minutes a day maximum. And you reset your body first thing in the morning, you're going to feel sprightly, You're going to start to look younger. Your internal organs feel great. You have clarity of the mind. You want to go and achieve. You want to go and conquer the world, as a lot of people say this. You will want to do more. You will excel in your life. So it's more than one thing, not just emotional, not just mental, not just physical. It can be life transforming to take you into your soul's alignment. Don't forget, we are soul to soul well being for a reason. My principles, really, it is make the decision, transform your life, say yes to yourself today, and I will hold your hand and I will take you on that journey to get you to the space where you will be happy at. If you have any thoughts or questions, please do drop them into me, and please do like and subscribe and share this with anybody else who you feel would benefit. So join me on this transformative journey. This is an absolute discussion that we've been having for 2 decades. It's saved my life, saved many people's lives. It's about mastering more than one thing in life. With this, we are working with something so universal, it's mind-blowing. And I have got a training course coming up on the 31st of May and 1st of June. If you're feeling, Parveen, I'm ready for this, I want the big changes, and I say yes to myself. The biggest thing about change, my principles are say yes, make it happen, come on the course, I will nurture you, you get your level 1 certificate, you get the manual as well, and then off you go. You work on yourself. Level 2 is for you and your family members. If you want to use this for you and your family members, fine. It could be an elderly mother or a grandmother who's not feeling well. You can just help them in 10 to 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and change something in them. It could well be that you said, actually, Parveen, I want to be a practitioner. We will train you as a practitioner. Not a problem. Just let us know and we'll take you on that journey. So mastering you and your journey to lead a better life is what we will give you. The success comes in your life only when you say, yes, I'm ready. So that's all from me today. My name is Parveen Smith. I'm a global awardee, and my story is also on PBS TV. I'm sweeping across from East Coast to the West Coast of America for the next 2 years. And I am so honored to have featured in Microsoft magazine, whereby I am recognized as one of the top 10 women entrepreneurs to look out for in this year of 2025. And I will just share with you before I do go what they have written. So, being a disruptor, being somebody who wants to change lives and transform lives, I will share with you this is what we are doing. So, being awarded, or should I say recognized, as the top 10, I am one of the most inspiring women entrepreneurs to watch in 2025 from Microsoft Networks. This is all about, as they say, across industries, women disruptors are rewriting the rules, introducing bold ideas, and challenging outdated systems with empathy, resilience, and strategy. From tech to mental health, energy to equity, these leaders are creating new standards, and the standards are for success. As the world faces complex shifts in work, sustainability, and human connection, the 10 remarkable women are the forefront of proving that disruption is more than a buzz. It's about meaningful, measurable change. And that's what I have been doing with my formula, my blueprint, transforming lives for the last 20 years. Are you ready? Give me a thumbs up. Have you enjoyed this? Please like, share, subscribe. Now, our time is coming to the end with you here today, and I would look forward to speaking with you soon. Please contact me at soul to soul wellbeing at outlook.com or direct message me on social medias and I'll take you on the discovery call to see if you're the perfect fit for this and how we can help you transform, glow, and be successful in life in many areas of life. My name is Parveen Smith from Soul to Soul Wellbeing, transforming lives one life